Now, this is the last in my series of Control the Process. Recap. Rule 23 relates to pleadings insufficiency or striking out. Rule 30 relates to irregular proceedings. Now, 30A is different to both of these. Rule 30A relates to non-compliance with a rule or a court order or a directive issued by the court. So it is completely different to the other two. Let me give you an example. If a directive is issued during case flow management, for example, and the party does not comply with it, you could use Rule 30 capital A. If a court order specifies that a party must deliver their amendment to their particulars of claim within 10 days, and they fail to do so, you can invoke Rule 30 capital A. If the rules dictate that something needs to be done and it has not been done, for example, let's assume you deliver a Rule 21.2 requesting further particulars for trial, and your opponent does not respond within the allotted period of time, you could bring a Rule 30 capital A application, starting with a notice, of course. Now, please, before you embark on Rule 30A, some of the rules have internal remedies, particularly Rule 35 relating to discovery, certain parts of the discovery in that rule. 35.7 gives you a remedy, so you're not going to bring a Rule 30A in that regard. Utilize the internal remedy as a rule of thumb. So how do we go about a Rule 30A application? Well, as with the two previous rules, you would need to bring a notice to remove cause of complaint. So you would specify what the problem is. For example, if your problem related to the fact that the opposing party had yet to deliver the response to your 21.2 notice, you would say that you had served a 21.2 notice on them requesting further particulars for trial, and the period of time within which they had to respond has lapsed and they have failed to do so. So you would call upon them to remove the cause of complaint. Likewise, with the other rules, if you needed to go to court with an application, in other words, assuming that your opponent does not remove the cause of complaint within the required time period, then and in those circumstances, you would need to allege prejudice. So it is very important that you remember that prejudice is an important facet of such an application before court. At the end of the day, of course, it is the court's discretion as to whether to grant your application or not. Generally speaking, with this application and the other applications, the court would ordinarily order compliance first before it would either strike out a claim or strike out a defense. Of course, that would depend on what had gone before it. For example, if the court had already ordered that there be an amendment to the pleadings and the parties had failed to do so, it's hardly likely that the court is going to order another amendment to the pleadings and might well strike out either the action or the defense. It's important that you remember the differences between these three rules. 23 relates to the pleadings, something to do with the pleadings, remember that. 30 relates to an irregular procedure, a step that's taken that is irregular, not in terms of the rules. And Rule 30A relates to the non-compliance with court orders, directives, or rules. Each one of them is used for a different purpose. Please do not confuse these 3 rules. It's been such a pleasure to share this pause with you today. Remember, your voice matters. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell for the next tea adjournment.